Yeah, look at that.
How about that? No music.
Well, this thing is broken here, so I gotta.
What happened?
I had to renegotiate my studio, if you will. Here you go. Does that you feel a little better now?
Yes, it's a comforting sound, Eytan, when that goes on.
People don't know what to do unless they hear that.
Exactly.
I heard Joey B has it as his ringtone.
Is that? Can you get that as a ringtone? Because I bet a lot of people that listen to this show would be interested in that.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have exclusive rights to the music, so otherwise, YouTube doesn't like it.
Oh yeah, they'd flag you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now, I was watching Barrett earlier today on
Birds 365.
Yeah, and credit Jody Mack for shouting us out at the end, saying,
"Oh yeah,
say hi to Mr. Mays and Mr. Shander for us."
Oh, nice.
And of course, I brought you guys in.
Well, maybe I got in too late then. On the
oh yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Was there any odd-at-ahs?
No,
I didn't hear any odd-at-ahs.
No.
What I heard though is, Barrett was geeking out this morning. Like
on what?
On like.
Yeah, let me break it down. Break down.
Yeah, there was
really break down.
Serious breakdowns.
Serious on double teams.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive line play. I was in my element, bro. I was in my element.
Was there any video assistance here, or was it just talking about it?
You know what? I'm gonna take a picture of NFL gameplay, and it says you don't get it for 36 to 48 hours. Coaching field 36 to 48 hours after the game, which is BS because by then on Wednesday, we're already gone after that. We're not even getting into it anymore. You know what I mean?
Right. So you think that's intentional? I mean, why wouldn't they want that stuff proliferated and talked about?
Well, I remember when I was working at NFL Films and I was breaking down the film, we wouldn't get it until sometimes, like if it was a Monday night, we wouldn't get it until Wednesday. Even then, you know what I'm saying? They're the ones filming it, so we would get it later there also. I think it's just laziness, I guess.
Wow, it's probably COVID. It probably has to do with the pandemic. There was a pandemic, right?
Are they blaming people?
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody is.
Well, you know what's bad? Like the people that work for my company.
Yeah.
Like they have kids, so when their kids are in school, if the kid has a running nose or anything, they send them home.
Yeah, they wrap him in a blanket and then send him home, throw him in a hefty bag, and they punch a couple of holes in it so the kid can breathe, and then they throw him in a bus and send him home.
Right, and they can't come back until they get a COVID test.
Right.
So my workers are like, all right, well, I got to do this for my test. I'm like, all right, then you got to do that. So what about the people that we're taking care of?
Right.
And they, it's just a ruckus, man. It's a ruckus.
Not bring the ruckus.
No.
Man.
Ruckus.
A serious ruckus, man.
Right.
And I get pissed off because now the people that are they're pissed off because we have a staffing company. So they're pissed off now because the worker's not there to help them. But I explained to them, well, the reason why they're not there to help you is because their kids get tested for COVID. They have to take the kids to get tested for COVID, but also we make them test themselves also before we let them come back, just in case they have it, so they don't give it to the people that they're taking care of. So it's just like,
so once big brass bonanza.
Yeah. Once one domino falls, then it's a chain of dominoes that fall after that.
I love Brass Bonanza. That's a good tune.
Brass Bonanza, what's that?
Brass Bonanza was the song that they'd play when the Hartford Whalers would score a goal.
Yeah. Now we probably can't play that either.
The old Hartford Whalers before they became the Carolina Hurricane.
See, that's something I don't know about, man.
It's deep hockey knowledge.
Yeah, that's in depth.
They played at the Hartford Civic Center.
In depth knowledge.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Wow.
There's a lot of in-depth knowledge when it comes to the Brass Bonanza.
And hockey starts soon too, man. The preseason is underway.
Yeah, God,
was there a game yesterday?
I'm judging watching preseason basketball or hockey.
Yeah, well, I guess the Sixers started last night as well, right?
Why would anybody want to watch that shit?
I don't know.
Football on.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch it. I think the Sixers played in Toronto and the Flyers played the Bruins.
You couldn't even watch it on regular TV. I think it was on Facebook.
Oh, really? Oh, great. I thought Facebook was shut down.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I think that's what initially was. I don't know. This wasn't even on TV, and people are all geeked out because Andre Drummond had some first quarter. Because people are afraid that they're going to have to hand in their 4-for-4 card if they don't watch a preseason basketball game.
Well, do I have to hand mine in? Because I didn't watch one Phillies game.
Not all.
I should get an award, actually, for that. There should be a plaque or something that I should get. Because
you didn't watch one Phillies game all year.
I did not watch one Phillies game all year. I didn't subject myself to that garbage.
Now, see, there's something in one of the early seasons of Black Mirror where they put a chip inside of you that's essentially your phone. And everything that you see is recorded like if you're a phone or a computer. So you can hit a small little dial right there and rewind. I can rewind Harry. If I have access to his dial, I can rewind Harry over the last hour. I could rewind Harry for his entire life. Like
this is probably coming. That's probably not too far from the truth.
So if that would be the only way to validate whether or not you truly didn't watch, or even if you snuck an inning in, you would be disqualified from the $1 million.
A full inning is the disqualification.
Not a half inning. So
not a half inning.
So what? You get to sneak by and watch them bat?
I might have perused by, and if there was Bryce Harper stepping into up to the dish, I might have stayed with it for a couple of pitches, and that's about it.
That just goes to show, man, that you're a warrior in your own sense of what you call a warrior, man, because you were just not going to have, you weren't going to have subjecting yourself to and not getting caught up like everybody else got caught up. I myself also got caught up in the pennant race and everything, man. You didn't subject yourself to that.
Yeah, it's over.
Pennant race.
It's over. And how about the boy Sirianni coming with that Flyers guard?
Oh, I sent that to you, text to you yesterday. I happened to be watching it for some reason. I think the Golf Channel was on commercial, so I went and I caught it on NBC Sports Philly, and there's Sirianni talking live, and I'm like, I figured out it was live, and he's wearing a freaking Flyers cap. I'm like, there is no end to this guy.
So here's my response to the Flyers hat. I am now actively rooting against him. Yep. I can't.
That's all it took.
Yeah.
That was the tipping
that's
point.
all it took. The guy's got a new hat. He's got all this shit that's piled up. It took him a month for me to just be out. He leaves a sour taste in my mouth.
We should give him some middle gear. Like if we sent him a middle t-shirt, do you think he'd wear it?
Not after all the shit we've said about him. I'm sure somebody down there will relay it if we ever got on their radar. We're
going to have Mike K on today.
Okay.
At 12:30, who covers the team for NJ.com.
Sirianni may do some stuff. I'm not saying he's a bad guy, any of that other stuff. I'm not saying anything along those lines. I am just actively rooting against him. I don't know what the hell this is. I don't know why he chooses to do this, but it is so off-putting to me. So off-putting. Thank you, Muhammad. We'll get you one.
Do we have t-shirts?
Well, I'm sure we can.
Do we have gear? We need merch.
Not Mert. Not Jason Mert.
Not Martinez?
No.
Merch?
No, and not Mertz, the quarterback for Wisconsin. He stinks.
No, he's out.
We're out on him.
I'd rather talk about this Sirianni guy than Mertz. Or Mert, for that matter. What the hell? I just why? Just
I don't know.
To be endearing to the city?
I guess somebody finally reminded him that was the only local team that he has yet to pander to, unless he hasn't. I don't know that he's worn a scarf for the Union yet. See, no. Kevin Kincaid needs to get him a scarf for the Union and have him wear it at the next press conference, because you can't let soccer. You can't forget about them. They're legitimate.
It's now 5 for 5, not just in college sports,
right,
but also in the big sports.
Well, that would be 6 for 6, right? Nova, you got your Nova.
Oh yeah, the City 6,
right?
Drexel, you can't forget about Drexel.
So it's a City.
Don't forget about Dre either.
Plus the 5, then you're 11-11. Are you an 11 for 11s, man? Yeah, man, I pay attention to Drexel basketball.
Damn right.
I'm following the Flyers. I mean, seriously, people were afraid, man. They were watching preseason basketball last night.
Man.
Why? There's only one man that does that.
Who?
One man. Robbie E.
Robbie E. He might have charted the game, actually. I think Robbie E. was waiting for Ben Simmons to walk through the tunnel with a uniform on.
Ellis watches everything, man.
I know.
I can remember, man, coming into work, bro, and I would just watch the Big Four.
Right.
But Ellis is watching everything, man. He's coming in. He's hanging on by a thread. And his eyes are bloodshot. You know what
Probably had a bet going.
He's so tired. He can't keep his mouth closed. He's so tired. He's just sitting there with his mouth open like.
No, but it was always, I think there was always this thing in the back of his mind. Like if he's doing a radio show after breakfast on Broad and some caller calls in with some crazy point or question, he wanted to have some basis for an answer. Like, you know what I mean? He never wanted to be left hanging where with, I don't know, I didn't see it. I don't know what you're talking about.
I've never heard him say that.
No.
That basis, or he wanted closure from the caller.
No, that's just who he is. He wants to be up on everything. He wants everything locked into his mind that happened in sports for all of eternity. As long as he's on this earth, he has to watch.
Right. Talk about running everything, going into his brain and re-racking it. You could re-rack the entire history of Philadelphia sports from about 1970 to today.
Yeah, it would just be one long look at Rob's brain.
Bro, that would be a great. What is it called? The Black
Black Mirror. Yeah,
Black Mirror.
Yeah.
He if you had a little box for him, oh my goodness. It'd be
Black Mirror Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You know,
it would just be Rob being like, okay. Oh my God.
That would be so great.
And you'd have his nightmares too in his head of like Nahagian kicking in the door.
Yeah.
I mean, what was that?
I mean, guys, get it back to football.
Why did you let Harry get you off track?
Right.
That was always the question that he'd have to answer. The poor guy, he'd have to meet with the program director sometimes without me. Like the program director didn't invite me. It was only like Rob, can I see you? And Rob would get up and look at me like, what? You're not coming with me? And I'm like, he didn't ask for me. So poor Rob would have to go into the office by himself, and then the door would slowly shut. And you were like, oh my God, what is going on in there? Right. And you'd see there was like this little window at the side of the door, like about 6 inches wide, right? And you'd kind of try to get a look-see in there, and you'd see Rob just sort of sitting there, you know, all up on the edge of the seat, like not relaxed. Like when I'd go in and I'd sit back. I'd be like this, like man spreading the whole deal, right? Rob would be sitting up on the edge, like he's in school, and he's just nodding, because he's getting the riot act, read to him about he did something wrong. He allowed me to screw up the show, whatever it was. And then he'd walk out like he just had 3 rounds with Mike Tyson. This look on his face. And then he'd want to tell me about it, but he couldn't talk about it in the office. So he'd be like, come on, let's go. So I'd have to walk out with him to his car and have the rehash.
That's great.
It was awesome.
You know what's the worst? Now, after he did that, before he even did that, went in there and met with him, he had to meet with Michelle before that, because after the show, we'd have to download, and he'd have to answer questions on why we didn't do this, we didn't do that. I mean, she's like, oh, well, Jillian, she's not good. She's like, Michelle, what do you want me to do? I have to watch all this stuff.
Right.
What do you want me to do? I'm trying. I really am trying.
Was it Michelle Murray? Is that who it was? Yeah.
So she would get on Rob for shit that other people would do?
Would she get on Rob for stuff that I did?
He
had no control.
He always had to take the bullets.
Yeah.
The poor guy. I felt bad for him. I still do.
He was a lifer in that building, so they probably thought like just by default.
Right.
He'd be in control of everything. But my goodness, that's amazing.
Times, man. It was times, bro. He said, man, I should have came to you on that, man, but I just couldn't shut her up. So I tried. I just couldn't shut her up, man. I tried to get it to you, man. I tried. I'm like, dude, stop worrying about it. You saying that, but you don't have to deal with Michelle. You don't have to deal with her.
Right.
I mean, I don't understand that, bro. Like, I don't have that relationship with bosses. I guess I don't know. Even with coaches, they just knew what they were going to get out of me, and that was it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It is what it is. That's what you need. That's all you got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all you got.
That's all you need.
Yep.
That's all you got. That's all you need. Fly under the radar.
How about that game last night? I don't know how your wagers ended up.
Beautiful.
Eytan, but you did? All right, good. The one thing that came across to me was the Chargers were shot out of a cannon last night.
Yeah,
They were all over the field. Energy. I mean, they played with such energy and fire. And I know there was probably as many Raider fans in that building as there were Chargers, because you heard loud noise when each quarterback was trying to make the calls and so forth. But man, the Chargers looked like they were really ready to go.
Well, I think
Barrett's muted now.
Yeah, Barrett's muted.
I knew Eckler was good.
Yeah.
But I didn't know he was that good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
His
total was 53.5. Come on.
Oh, way over.
Yeah, we smashed that.
Yeah. I mean, how does a guy like that get to Western Colorado? I mean, he must have been just an undersized dude that nobody really recruited.
Like a Sproles type of guy, man.
Yeah. But at least Sproles got to your school, K-State. I mean,
right.
You know?
And K-State has another one like this named Deuce.
Oh, yeah?
Deuce is the same. Deuce is smaller than Sproles. But right now he's like one of the he's like one of the all-purpose yards leaders in the Big 12.
Mm-hmm.
Running and catching. He does everything, man. He was like one of the most complete backs coming out of Texas, but he's just so small. You know what I'm saying? They just didn't give him an opportunity.
And how do you have a weather delay in a domed stadium?
Well, Werder tweeted this out. Apparently, it's not a real dome. So what it is it's an open stadium with a canopy over the field.
Okay.
So you can get precipitation, you can get lightning, like you can get stuff in that. It's not like the Superdome.
Oh, so they can get rain in there.
Yes.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
I wasn't either.
I wasn't either.
Yeah,
okay.
no, I saw this tweet from Werder who said, as somebody who's covered 2 games there, it's not an open field in the sense of open, but it's not a dome enclosed. There's some canopy.
Because I tuned in at like 8:20, and I'm seeing Susie Kolber and Schefter and them on the field doing like that, what they do pregame or halftime. Like, what the hell's going on here? And then I saw the banner saying that there's a lightning delay. I'm like, lightning in Los Angeles? Since when?
Yeah.
Right.
Man.
Yeah, look, Joey B coming with LAFD information here.
LAFD?
Yeah.
Not LFAO.
No, SoFi, not considered an indoor facility.
Oh, wow.
Now, look, the game was delayed, 20 minutes?
Probably,
care?
25 minutes or something.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, it helped the under. I'll say this, though, to your point about the Chargers fired out of a cannon and really dominating that football game outside of, the third quarter. Mike Williams was not involved, and that shock.
Yeah.
The Chargers to dominate that way without Mike Williams even basically playing is pretty impressive.
Now, he was wide open, and he was missed because it should have been a touchdown. I mean, he had that guy beaten by 3 steps, and he was just Herbert overthrew him. But, yeah, you're right. I think he caught like 1 pass for 10 or 11 yards or something. It's amazing. They got some big tight ends, man. How about that dude that caught the first touchdown? He's like 6'8".
Right. Right. The Cook?
Yes.
No, I think Parham caught the first one and then caught the second one, right?
Okay.
Right. Correct. Yeah.
Bro, how come we can't have nice things like that, man?
I know.
They have 2 tight ends here. What are you talking about?
I'm not talking about the tight end, the quarterback, man.
Oh, I'm saying, you got 2 tight ends now.
It's just crazy, man. It's just utterly ridiculous. I mean, look at their defensive ends, bro.
Yeah, both sides. It's just he's a maniac.
Right.
I love it.
Penalty that he got.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
He yelling at the ref?
He yelled at the ref too after the game too. Said they're blind. He's right.
Yeah, they are.
He's right.
It wasn't a great look. That taunting call was awesome for me because I had the under and it took out a big play.
But it's a bad call.
It was a terrible call.
Yeah.
But look, the NFL is full. I just don't see. I get it. Like, if you're a casual bettor or you don't bet at all, then you're not going to appreciate it like I do. But I'm not asking you to. I'm not demanding that you do. I'm not judging you if you don't. But if you look at all of these bad plays, it's shit, man. Like, if it works in your favor, you put your head down, you say thank you.
Right.
If it doesn't, you kind of put your head down and say, I got screwed by the call. But you've made so much money in the past by bad calls as well. That one was pretty bad. I will say this, but it sure as hell helped me out. So I wasn't on Twitter bitching and moaning about this call, about how the NFL is unwatchable and all this other stuff with the NFL. It's fine by me.
Who was doing that?
Oh, I was on. Yeah, I mean, just take your pick. Go through it.
Verified accounts.
Yes, of course. But again, like it doesn't matter. It just time stamp when that happened, and then go back to social media. I guess Twitter was the only one that was active at the time. And you can see all the people talking about, oh, I can't believe what a bad call. The league.
Yeah.
All right.
They seem so obsessed with this taunting stuff. Even so, the broadcast crew made a point to tell us all that it's not just the old guard coaches who were interested in this. It's the young hip guys, like the Siriannis of the world of the NFL. They're very concerned about taunting too.
Why?
So, I don't know.
Just don't get your ass kicked.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, apparently Mara and this is an old guard thing. So young hip to me means falling in line. That's what that means. Guys fell in line. They don't want any smoke from these old guards, So it's like,
you want any Mara smoke.
No. So it's like, look, that's a headache you just don't want to deal with. Put your head down, vote for the rule. What the hell do you care? It's not going to come back. It's like a coach just telling the SID, vote for whoever the hell you want from 20 to 25 in the top 25. I don't give a shit.
Right. Well, I think this was the quote because it's not just a bunch of old men deciding the rule. There are a bunch of young, cool, hip, happening coaches who don't like taunting either. Who's a happening coach in the NFL?
Was that Steve Levy who said that?
It was one of them. Bo Wolf actually put it on his Twitter, and it was the exact quote because I remember it stood out to me too.
It wasn't a great night for Levy. Greasy was okay. And Lou was just Lou.
Lou's Lou.
You're going to get what you can get. But it had me longing for a pair of brothers. I thought maybe I would turn and hit the Canseco cast in the second half, but he wasn't on Twitter or I guess Facebook.
I missed the Manning cast last night. It's the first week I know they haven't been on. They're not going to be on for a couple more weeks. I need their schedule.
Well, the Canseco cast, I think, should take over on Facebook when it's not he and Ozzie Canseco doing the game, right?
Right.
That's tonight with a wild card.
Yeah, the Red Sox Yankees.
Right. So they're doing the Canseco cast. He and Ozzie. Yeah, Jose and Ozzie.
But it's on Twitter, though, right?
I think it's on Twitter, and I don't know. It might be on Facebook. Whatever platform they have, they're doing. I guess they're just ripping off the Manning cast and just creating their own Canseco.
It's kind of funny. As long as it's good.
I can't imagine it would be good.
Well, the only thing you're going to want out of them is like dirt, on certain players. Like if they have stuff on certain guys, whether it's true or not, they'll just say stuff.
Does Ozzie Canseco have dirt on anybody, though?
I don't know, except his brother.
Right.
Outside of his brother.
Can you imagine being that, though, Ozzie?
No.
Because I was in Florida. I was I had to go down to see a doctor in Florida about my knee. And he was at this restaurant and everybody was calling him Jose. He's sitting there like, oh, and I could see that he's tired of people saying that to him. He's tired of it because they're coming up to him and, saying it. And it's like, damn, it's not me. It's not me. It's not me. You know what I mean? He's just, it's not me. It's my brother. It's my brother. He was sitting there.
Well, were they giving him shit like they would give Jose, like you cheating son of a like that?
It was both. Some people congratulated him. Some. I'm like, damn, that's messed up, bro. That is really messed up that they're really on him like that.
I mean, like if my brother is a superstar and I look like my brother, which I really don't, not well enough to blend in, then I don't have a problem with people coming up to me left and right. I might sign a couple of autographs.
Right.
Maybe I can use that to my advantage, across the board. But if my brother is a piece of shit that is a pariah, that is the or it's just the target, I should say, of a lot of people's anger, then Barrett, I would be upset too, I guess, because that's probably happening more to Ozzie Canseco than not.
I wish I had a famous brother.
Right. I mean, just like the Clay family, the Matthew family. We had the lesser of the Matthews,
Casey.
at linebacker. We had Casey instead of Clay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
He's kind of like the Fredo of the Matthews clan. Yeah. Now, good for him. He made it to the NFL,
right?
At least.
Well, the family, comes from pedigree. Dad played too, right?
Really? They all did. Yeah.
So now, does Mike K have a famous brother that we should know about? Somebody more famous than him?
Danny K.
Danny K.
Isn't Danny K famous from back in the day on TV?
Kaye?
Yeah, I think it's spelled the same. We'll have to ask him. Yeah. Now, did you see this? Michael Lombardi tweeted this morning regarding the Urban Meyer situation. He says, according to 2 Jacksonville sources, there are many closed-door meetings happening over the last 2 days in the football offices, and none of them have anything to do with the Titans game. Stay tuned. This might get ugly.
Come on. What are they going to do? They're going to fire the guy?
Well, then another guy named Michael McCann, Sports Law, at McCann Sports Law, legal expert, a verified guy, goes, 2 employment contract terms might become tied to this development with the Jaguars: morals clause and for cause. Lombardi says that's exactly what is being discussed.
Wow.
Ooh, how about that?
The second clause?
Morals clause.
I got morals.
And for cause, like firing him for cause.
For cause.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't one lead to the other?
I believe so. Yeah, they're all intertwined.
Could there be outside of him breaking a morals cause? By the way, shout out to Blue Mini there, Brian Heffron in the house.
Yeah, McDowell's
cast is to the Manning cast what McDowell's is to McDonald's. I would agree with that. I would agree.
The Golden Arches, and we have what?
Wait a second. Are they going to fire him because he was out with another woman?
No, I think it would be more maybe because he didn't go back with his team. I think they're more annoyed with that.
That's what I was saying yesterday.
The fact that he stayed there and went out to a restaurant bar and then happened to be caught on video. But this is kind of crazy. Bro. I know.
How do you not go back with your team?
It's pretty.
I was trying to stress that yesterday. You don't do that. You go back with your team when you're a head coach. Players do it, but not your head coach.
Right.
He's got to go down with the ship. They just got their ass kicked. Why are you going somewhere else? Why aren't you riding back with the team? I've never seen that before. Never have I seen a coach not fly unless there's something wrong with his family.
Right.
Or there's a family something going on, or something like that, or he had to take a flight somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never seen a coach not go back with the team so he can kick it.
Now in college, I think it happens if they're on a road trip, if they go away to let's say Ohio State goes to play USC. And they're out in Los Angeles. He might stay to go visit a recruit or two, and then fly, home on, some donor's private jet a day later. That can happen.
Yeah, that happens, but that's not in the NFL.
Right. Not after you lose like that either.
Right.
I mean, come
on. That's the most damning thing that's going on. That he stayed, he didn't fly back with his team, and then all of a sudden he's groping somebody that's not his wife. I'm like, yo, what is up? How does that happen?
I don't know. Somebody who, again, like Urban Meyer has been such a shady individual in every area and aspect of his professional life, doesn't necessarily need, to me at least, that I can't be shocked that he's in trouble again, right?
Bro, it's not only did he not fly back with his team, but he goes out, and it's not something. I mean, it has to be something that's dire.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's sick, or he's sick, or he has to do it. It has to be something like that.
Yeah.
You just can't not fly back with your team.
It didn't look like he was in any hurry to shoo that young co-ed away from his from his groinal area where she was gyrating.
Let me ask you this: do you think they realized, and forget about what happened in this club and with this woman here, but just in general, do you think they realized they made a mistake?
Yes.
Like just as Urban Meyer as a coach.
Yeah.
The Tebow, they were embarrassed with Tebow being on the team.
Right.
Well, the Tebow thing, and then he basically admitted that he got rid of players because of being not vaccinated. He went public with that, which you weren't supposed to do because it's like a violation of the CBA. So he got smacked down for that. I mean, he's had a couple of little things where that owner can say, "What, dude? What is this guy doing?"
Yeah,
even that owner.
His record just gave him the #1 pick, and you still do nothing with it.
Yeah,
no, it's terrible. Terrible.
Oh, Doug Peterson at Jacksonville. Joey B, you might have something there, man.
Wow. Can you imagine?
It just so happens that Doug is in Florida too.
Yeah.
Just in general, or
playing golf
today?
No, he's living down there, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, good for him.
Yeah.
You think he wants to come back to that situation? Like, isn't that either a desperate situation or it's like this is the only way you're going to coach in the NFL? It's like
but see,
like,
that's not
Peterson desperate.
Well, see, I wouldn't see it as a desperate situation. I would see it as another opportunity. That's not really desperate. He's going to have his name is going to be out there for a couple of head coaching jobs at the end of the season. We know this. And he said he's not. He already made it known he's not going back to college.
All right, we got a Shad Khan, who's the owner, right? Has issued something here.
All right, well, we got a break, so let's take a break, and then we'll come back and hear from Shad, and then hear from Mike K as well.
Like he knows him personally.
Shad.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass, free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Holy shit.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. One free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. So good, it just disappears.
As a hard-working American, you've never experienced how tough life can be until now. A catastrophic injury while working on the job. A personal injury from someone else's negligence. Turned away by other law firms in the region who didn't bother to learn your story. It's time to meet the Fritz & Beyond Cooley Law Firm and managing partner Brian Fritz. Badly injured? Call the Fritz & Beyond Cooley Law Firm. Find out why they say, "We got this."
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Wow.
New Oceans commercial, bro.
Yep. Cincinnati's a 29-point favorite.
Huh?
Over the Owls.
What do you got with this guy here?
Hold on. What?
What?
29-point favorite.
29. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What?
I didn't think that was ever possible, man.
What do you mean?
To be a 20-point favorite over somebody.
In college, it happens all the time.
Yeah, that's not that bad. Right?
Yeah.
I seriously have never heard that, man. I'm not, but see, I'm not it's better. But
you've done games. What are you talking about? You did a game that ended 66-0. What the hell was the spread on that one?
I had to be in the 40s.
Right. No?
No, the spread was like, I think it was like 14 or something.
No way.
What
was
game?
that game?
Long Island University was not a 14-point dog to West Virginia.
No way.
What was it, you think?
It had to be 40.
Right.
I don't know, because I can't look at that, going into a game.
I can tell you this, it wasn't anything lower than 28, 4 touchdowns. Only because West Virginia might have just given up and put their 4 stringers in.
Well,
wouldn't you love if Barrett put out that number at 14.5, Eytan, and jump all over it? Lay the wood with the West Virginia Mountaineers.
Really? Wow. Now Birdman coming at you like Baldy. Doing on the mic.
Oh, yeah. They were coming at Barrett too.
For what?
I'll find it here. Hold on a second.
No, Muhammad, that's got to go. I thought I was doing something for QBC this week, and it's not. So,
oh, here we go. John Grant, back at 21 after 11, says, "Stop whining about what another team's quarterback is and live with what the Eagles have, Barrett. I saw Herbert overthrowing receivers too."
Here's the thing, though. Nobody even brought Hurts up today. The hell is he talking about?
No, but I think it was in reference. Barrett said or something. Why can't we have nice things? And you were saying we have tight ends. He goes, no, I mean the quarterback. That's what I think he was referring to.
Wow.
Yeah, Barrett taking some heat. All right, do you want the statement from Chaka Khan?
Let's hear it.
All right,
Chaka Khan.
Let's play some Chaka Khan.
Chaka Khan.
I have addressed.
We can play.
I have addressed this matter with Urban. Specifics of our conversation will be held in confidence. What I will say is his conduct last weekend was inexcusable. I appreciate Urban's remorse, which I believe is sincere. Now he must regain our trust and respect. That will require a personal commitment from Urban to everyone who supports, represents, or plays for our team. And I am confident he will deliver. This concludes our missive from Shad. Don't call me Chaka Khan.
Does anybody take that guy seriously? Like,
no.
If Urban Meyer took this guy seriously, he wouldn't be doing whatever the hell he was doing. He'd be on the flight back.
I mean, at this point, you're a head coach. You're not a college head coach. You're an NFL player,
right.
An NFL head coach. Players have to respect that. Those players at this point, they don't respect him. There's no way that team respects who he is right now. There's no way.
And he doesn't respect the owner.
Right.
So it's a chain of disrespect.
Right.
Hey, run it again. Nah, coach, we ain't gonna be able to do that. Not today, coach. Hey, it's time we gotta run. Nah, we ain't running today, coach. No.
Yeah, but do you think there's players on a Jacksonville team that you're talking about, like Strahan back with the Giants? Like, I could see that a player having that kind of, swagger. But there's the Jaguars players. Who are they?
But they're more than what this coach is. I can believe that. I mean, come on, man. You can't do that, bro. That's just. I mean, as a head coach, you just can't put yourself in that type of light. You know what I'm saying? I mean, especially a player that's been there, like Miles Jack. Jack will tell, hey man, I ain't doing nothing today, man.
I ain't doing jack.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm Miles Jack. That's it.
Yeah.
Urban Meyer he's just trash. I mean, seriously, this guy is just trash. Look at him.
Hey, he found an owner dumb enough to give him a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to get bought out too.
Yeah.
A lot of people that are rich are trash too. That doesn't mean or exclude you from being in the trash category. He's just
no.
I wouldn't want anything to do, like, if I'm a fan of this Jacksonville Jaguars team, and I know that people there are. I wouldn't want anything at all to do with him.
Yeah.
Like, I would stop. Yeah, Joey B's right. Like, go out and hire Byron Leftwich. What the hell's Mark Brunell doing? Something like that. I don't know.
Leftwich is the OC for Tampa.
Yeah, he's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, he does a nice job.
Right.
This owner,
nice job when he was helping out Ben. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't there to really play. He was there to help Ben.
Mm-hmm.
That was his sole purpose of being there, man. That's how he got into coaching, bro. He'll do well, man. They just can't talk to him right now. They can't talk to him.
Leftwich.
Bieniemy either.
Yeah.
But they can talk to Doug. That's why I said Doug is an interesting guy to talk about.
At this point, bring Doug back.
Right.
Into the NFL. Like, I'm okay with the Jags doing it. I just didn't know if the Peterson camp would be in on that.
Well, that's the problem, because they're like, go to Jacksonville. I mean, is that a place where coaches go to die?
I just think it's a place where people go to just not exist.
What's you kind of can lay low there.
Yes, it's purgatory. You know,
right.
You don't know what's going to happen.
I would love it there personally.
To coach?
No, not to coach, but just that area.
I think you could find better areas in Florida, don't you?
Well, of course you can, but I'm saying that would be acceptable. This owner also owns the Fulham Football Club.
Yeah.
and they've been relegated, many times from the Premier League. They're currently in one of those championship league or something. So his success, with his franchises, he hasn't won squat anywhere.
No. And again, this guy who's in any owner's meeting, who's listening to him, right? It's like, sit down. Sit down before we relegate your ass. I don't want to hear anything from you.
I know you've got $8.5 billion, but just pipe down.
And that's the thing. Like when you're in that room of 31 other billionaires,
right?
Net worth means jack shit.
Exactly.
It's what you've done for the league, what you're doing. That's why Jerry Jones is always going to have the voice in that room.
Right. Yep.
And it's like, what the hell? Get this guy get this guy out of here. Remember, he tried to lead some sort of uprising against the old guard. Against
he did?
Crap. Yeah, go back. He was one of the guys fueling this kind of change of guard in ownership. And people realize, like, all right, man, you have an idea or two, but you haven't done anything for the NFL. Like, you haven't actualized anything.
Yeah, like Mr. Ford and the owners of the Steelers were like, not today.
Exactly.
Not today. No,
he also owns All Elite Wrestling.
Okay. Now hold on a second.
AEW.
Right. Now we need the Blue Meanie back up here to validate how that is the trajectory of that, because that could be something that maybe is on the way up.
I don't know.
I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know. No, we know that Fulham, by the way, has been relegated.
Yeah.
The Eagles. Sorry, the Jags.
They should be relegated too.
Right.
Yeah.
For Alabama.
Yeah.
Or Georgia's defense. Could you just do that? I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, Georgia said not even who did you say? Not even the Patriots could score on them. Like, wow, that's ballsy there.
Now, see, this is an individual. That's why we love the Birdman, because Birdman was paying attention to Johnny Mack and Jody Mack.
Both wrestling honks, by the way.
Absolutely. So when something like AEW gets brought up, and yes, Joey B, not ANW, AEW.
No, not the root beer.
Underrated curly fries at A&W as well.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Really underrated curly fries.
I never went to one of those A&W places.
They had one in the Stanford Mall, and pretty sneaky. For a fast food burger, it was pretty sneaky good.
Not bad.
So why would you go to one in the mall? Because I would always want to go to one where they have the skates out there. They come on, serve you at the window.
That's Sonic, isn't it?
No, I thought A&W also.
I don't know, man. I was dropped off at the mall at 15 years old. So
what is this? Roller girls coming to your car in hot pants with your curly fries, Barrett?
I don't remember they're hot girls, but I do remember like a place, a root beer place that served burgers and stuff, and they skated over to you and all that type of stuff. Sonics used to do the same thing.
Well, I know they have a drive-through. I don't know that they have or had roller skate. I think that's probably frowned upon in this day and age. That would be sexist and misogynist and whatever other ist you want to throw at it.
I went to Hooters twice this weekend.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, down in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right next, it was right next.
That's
to my
like
hotel.
fine dining in Greenville, North Carolina.
Your options are limited.
They're very limited options. Yes.
Yeah,
bro.
absolutely.
Put it like this: I walk to the door and it says you will not be served unless you have a mask on. And I literally everybody walk in without a mask, and it was like business as usual.
Right.
And I'm reading the store, so I went out and sat in my car and waited for my food to get done. It was wild, man. It was wild.
Now, Birdman 990 says, I'm with Eytan. I am out on Sirianni. It only took what, 4 games?
Right. It's not enough. That's not even enough for a serving size. You didn't. That's like going to and getting just a small slice of pizza instead of getting a full slice. I mean, you got to enjoy a little bit.
Get the full pie.
Yeah. You can't just make your determination off a hat.
He's seen enough.
Look at Shan. He's sitting there like you're still out, huh?
No. I mean, look, I don't know what you want me to say. This guy, I just don't get it. Like, I don't want him to be fired. I'm just not rooting for him anymore. I'm out. Like, I can't. We're 2 days away from him bringing in Gritty to try and fire this team up. And honestly, like we're at the very least, we're closer to that than we're not. All right.
So okay, well, let's go with that. If he was one of those coaches, because this happens every now and then, where a coach will bring some celebrity or some former athlete in another sport to speak to the team.
Right.
Like, who would be his guy? Who would be the number one guy that Sirianni would go to? Was he a Ric Flair guy?
No, I remember this dude was showing videos of a hot dog eating contest. What are you talking about, Ric Flair?
So Joey Chestnut is on speed dial?
That's what I mean. Like, he's already opened the door. This is a gritty thing. When's Cake? I thought K was 11:40.
12:30.
Oh, 12:30.
Yeah.
That's all, man. Like, seriously.
So, I mean, what do we...
Sly Stallone. Ash is right. It's Sly Stallone.
You think?
Yep.
I'd like to tell you guys about this new movie.
I don't know what he sounds like. Whatever the hell that guy.
But he'd have the fingerless gloves on, the leather gloves with the fingers cut out, and he'd be bouncing the little ball in the leather jacket like he wore in Rocky with the hat on.
Yep. And they'd superimpose. He would just be running in place. Right. And they would superimpose it behind him with all the people behind him in the Italian market.
What, in the big gray sweatsuit?
Yeah.
Or maybe, well, I don't know who they would bring in, man. Because what you just described to me, I didn't see Stallone. I saw like Andrew Dice Clay or something.
Yeah, coming in. That's fine. Like seriously, I could see Sirianni.
He's gonna read them nursery rhymes.
Yeah, we're too tight. All these penalties. Our team is too tight.
Hickory dickory dock.
Right.
You be the effing mouse to run up the clock, okay?
Oh,
seriously.
man.
I mean, we should just throw it up to the chat there. Old Cole, Bill Nye, the science guy. I mean, seriously, we're closer to this shit than we are somebody of actual merit stepping in and being like, why don't you bring an old player or coach back that can talk? That can, like, who do we have that, like,
Jaws.
Brian Dawkins or Jaws, right? Or Barrett, right? Who's present here, or Seth Joyner. Right. I mean, how about, why don't you do that? Why don't you do the NFL version of Scared Straight, which is like put him in a room with Seth and tell Seth just awful news, whatever it is that would piss Seth off beforehand, personally or professionally, whatever, like a fake firing. Hey, Mr. Joyner, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But we're going to have to let you go.
Your tea time at Pine Valley is canceled.
Whatever it may be.
That would piss him off.
There you go. Fine. You can no longer golf. You're out today.
Right.
What?
Oh, man.
Well, by the way, here are a couple of young players that refuse to not jump off sides or personal fouls or everything else. All right. Let me get them. Like, do something,
So you think that's what's next? Does he start wearing like the Modell's classic Eagles throwback jerseys of certain players?
That's a good call.
Like Reggie White,
Eric
even though he
Allen.
can't come back.
No. I guarantee you, I would bet money right now, even money, that he shows up at one point this year with an Eric Allen jersey and talks to the press about how Eric Allen deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Mm.
Come on, man.
That's pandering to the older crowd.
Mm-hmm.
I think all the pandering is done now, man. In all actuality,
he just had a Flyers cap on.
All right, he's not helping my cause. He's not helping my case, huh?
He's cultivating the Martineses of the world right now. Think about that.
Now, when you put it like that,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Now now we couldn't have, if Martinez was on right now, he'd be all in it right now.
Oh yeah,
he'd be all in it.
Oh man,
yeah, bring back Gritty. Bring Gritty up.
Yeah,
he'll get them guys fired up.
He'd still be breaking down that 2-1 win last night in the preseason game over the Bruins.
Oh, is that right? How do you even know the score of that?
Because I saw it on ESPN.com.
Oh, that's right. Hockey is back on ESPN now.
Yeah. See, they care about hockey now.
Yeah. They haven't had to care about hockey, what, 12, 15 years now?
Yeah. You went on these Usain Bolt NFTs today, 3:00.
Did you get the Tiger Woods one?
No, I tried, man. I really did try.
So now
they're available.
What does it entail trying? Like, what were you actually doing?
So there are drops, and then there's the actual marketplace. The drops are when draft
the original come out,
and they put them, and you have to get in line and they say that everything is by chance, right? Oh, what's the word I'm thinking of? Randomized, right? The line that you're in. So there was a bunch of these drops with these Tiger drops, and just like they do with Usain Bolt, now we're on these Premier Carbons, Premier Platinum Premier, Emerald Premier, Sapphire Premier, Ruby, signed Carbon, signed Premium Platinum. It just keeps going up. The more, the more. And then they have one that, and the highest one they drop is always the Ruby signed NFT, and that's always $1,500. So if you're fortunate enough to be one of the 12 people, you buy that for $1,500. Now, the Tiger Woods, just looking at this here,
there were 10,000 of them apparently, NFTs with Tiger Woods.
Yes. The Tiger Woods Ruby signed is the one that was 12 that was going for $1,500. Is listed right now for $75K.
Wow.
$75K. Now, I don't know.
Somebody has to buy it for 75. You know what I mean? Like, you can list it, but is somebody going to buy that?
It's Tiger. 3 for sale at $75K.
They're digital images, right?
Yeah, it's NFT, non-fungible token, right?
Right, and the company is co-founded by Tom Brady, apparently, that put these out. Did you know that?
With DraftKings.
Yeah,
I did not know that. I mean, DraftKings is genius. I don't know any other sports book right now that has established their own NFT marketplace to where, like Tony Hawk, these things are going for a pretty good penny here. They're also like Osaka fell off the face of the earth. So nobody's buying those.
Right.
You have to be relevant. You have to have some sense of relevance. That's why Tom Brady, Tiger Woods, Usain Bolt is going to be a great one.
You think?
Yeah, I think he just has, there's constant talk or discussion. All it takes is him to race Tyreek Hill or some shit like that, and he's going to be back in there, and people are going to be looking for it. Look, I think you have to buy one just to buy one and see what happens.
What about like a Messi NFT? That would be huge.
Absolutely. I don't know. That's the thing. All right, let me see who you can buy here. I mean, there have been a bunch that have
like
been
a Ronaldo or something.
Derek Jeter is out there.
Mbappe.
So Derek Jeter right now, we mentioned that Tiger Woods one going for $75K.
Right.
The same one for Jeter is going for $24,500. So that's about $50,000 less.
Right. It's a third.
Yeah. Simone Biles is not going for anything. $11,800.
Tony Hawk, what does that go for?
Tony, I just passed here.
And Gretzky too.
Tony is $15K, so he's a little bit more than Biles. Gretzky, I thought would be. I just didn't know. I mean, look, Osaka actually went back up. She's at 34.3 now for her highest price one, so that's not terrible. Wayne Gretzky is at 50K.
Wow.
So he's the second highest.
Somebody cares about hockey.
Well, except for, yeah, really. What do you think Brady goes for? The signed Ruby. That's the highest one. That's the most coveted.
Still playing, still has an opportunity of winning another Super Bowl. I mean, I'm just trying to think about Tiger Woods because Tiger Woods is probably done.
Correct.
Probably. Okay.
Correct.
So I would say that would be 100K.
110.
Wow, that's close.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Now that's an investment. You buy 110, like Barrett, come on, you can scrap up 110K. Just
he's muted again.
How are you muted?
I don't understand this.
I put it on mute because I have, sinuses right now, man. I don't want to be.
I'd rather hear that than not hear you. Now, this is a great question. Urban Meyer's NFT is dropping precipitously right now.
It might be.
I think that blonde in the Columbus bar just put in a bid.
I think that is the NFT.
Yeah,
his hand on her ass is the NFT. Yeah, seriously, if you had taken that 100K from Dallas instead of not going to Dallas, you could have used that 100K on a Tom Brady signed NFT right now, and probably 5 to 6 times your money. You may even get $1 million depending on how this thing keeps going here.
Because 5 years from now, it's going to be worth, because if he retires this year, 5 years from now, when he can go to Hall of Fame, bro, can you imagine how much this is going to cost then?
Yeah, a lot.
Probably upwards 5 million, 5 to 10 million.
It's no joke, man. I'm telling you. This thing is insane. Here, let's all play out here.
So, I mean, I'm just confused by the NFT, non-fungible token. And apparently that's a unit of data that's stored on a digital ledger called a blockchain.
Correct. Which is also how crypto is.
Yeah, right.
So it's tokens, right?
Right.
It's Ethereum, it's Bitcoin, it's whatever you can use as currency. And you can also buy other tokens. So paper is one that I have that I'm waiting to blow up because it's going to be used in this Dope Wars game. I'm telling you, it's like this shit is multiple layers of it, right? So people that play this game called Dope Wars are now going to use their cash and exchange it for a cryptocurrency called paper. And paper is what you can use in that game, exclusively in that game, to buy more stuff in Dope Wars.
Wow.
Which is some, like, I don't know what the hell this thing is. That's all. But there's money out there. It's hard, man. You can't just rely winning on these, these DFS
leagues. Yeah.
It was, although it was a pretty good weekend.
Yeah.
Austin Eckler, man. I'm telling you, Austin Eckler was huge for me yesterday across the board. Absolutely. All right. Now, what's happening here with K? 12:40.
12:30.
30. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, just making sure.
Yeah.
I would strongly suggest people jump in on this Thursday through Monday, but what do I know? Dope Wars.
Jump in on this Dope Wars paper.
I'm telling you. Hey, there is it's just like stocks. It's just like how markets work, where if there's something behind the currency itself, then there's going to be raise of it. But you could help as well. Like, you buy a shit ton of paper, and then you put a tweet out like, hey, man, I just bought a shit ton of paper. Guess what? A lot of other people are going to buy paper.
And then it's going to go up.
It goes up, right?
Yeah, that's like Elon Musk will say something about one of these things.
Exactly. So all I need is for Barrett to buy a shit ton of paper and then tag me in the tweet and say, I just loaded up on paper. And you watch, you'll gain like 150 followers on that tweet. They're all crypto heads.
Yeah. I don't need no crypto heads.
No,
on my timeline. No,
you're out on a crypto head.
I'm out on the crypto head. I prefer the Bloods and the Crips, not the crypto heads.
Oh, Mike Silver apparently has been tweeting about what's it called? See, SD is all over it here. He understands. Now, I guess Urban Meyer is probably going to be fired. It looks like in the next week or so.
You think so?
Yeah. I think right now, and Barrett talked about this before Mike Silver even reported it, so we'll take credit for this today, which is nobody on that team respects Urban Meyer, and that's what the reports are coming out.
Oh, wow.
And look, you didn't need a reporter to tell you that. We had a former player here who could pick that out a mile away and tell you that this is a perfect, just complete mess. It is a beautiful mess that Urban is going through.
It's saying that players reportedly laughed at Urban Meyer behind his back.
Yeah.
Over the explanation of the video.
Bro, but hold on. It probably wasn't behind his back. They probably laughed at him in front of his face. I told you that's why when I was in Detroit, we lost a head coach over that, man. He just lost control of the team. There was nothing Bobby Ross could do to get that team back, man. I mean, they were out on him. I mean, they were literally laughing at his face.
I love how part of the explanation was I stayed to see the grandkids. Like, he throws in the grandkids in there, right? But the video is him with some 20-some-year-old hot chick. Like, what does that have to do with your grandkids? Where are your grandkids now? They're in a bar?
Yeah.
Harry,
how old are you
talking about?
Right, Harry.
Great
he just dug himself a deeper hole. They disrespect him even less now.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And like, you don't get that back by having some sort of meeting. You don't get that back, guys. Because here's another thing, too. This isn't from, like, we can't expect this to be in a vacuum. This is not the only thing that Urban Meyer has done with his team, good or bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're already out on a guy because you're losing and he's not coaching you or he doesn't know what the hell he's doing, all these other things, this is just added ammunition. Oh, man, I already told you about this dude. Now look. What did I tell you in week 2 about this guy, man?
Right.
Now look.
Yeah, one player told Mike Silver that he has zero credibility in that stadium. He had very little to begin with.
Yeah, it's over.
Wow.
I told you from the field, the point I knew it was over for Herb is when he brought Tebow back at tight end.
Yeah. Yep.
That was like, to me, I was, you talking about out, you being out on Nick
Sirianni, yeah.
I was out on Sirianni as soon as he brought back in Tebow. I mean, Tebow, that's what he does, man. He comes back and tries to reinvent himself doing something else. Now he's, he went from baseball. Well, first of all, it was quarterback.
Yeah.
Then the baseball, then back as a tight end. Come on, man.
Apparently he apologized to the position groups individually, not the whole team as a whole. So they were saying that he was like too afraid to get in front of the whole team at once. So one player said, we looked at him like WTF. Right when he left, everyone started dying laughing. And he knew it.
Of course he knows it.
Wow.
These are grown men you're dealing with, man. These are grown men with families.
Right.
And when remember I told you guys before.
Yep.
If you can make a player better, then they'll respect you.
Right.
He can't make any of those players better. He can't. So why would they even want him to say this is going down? He won't be a coach within the next couple of days?
Yeah, I mean, how could he be?
No.
Well, they got to fire him before they go to London. They're going to London soon. Right. They don't want to take him over there if they.
Oh, can you imagine him?
Wait a second. I smell leaving a guy at a tarmac.
Oh, at Heathrow.
Right.
At Heathrow, Eytan.
Could you do it there at that point? Could you just go full tarmac on a man?
Yeah, I think they play. Don't they play Miami in that game in London in a couple of weeks? Like 2 weeks? Because this week it's the Jets and the Falcons, I think, is the London game.
Oh, my God. Is it 9 a.m.?
I think it's a 9 a.m.er.
I like them 9 a.m. games.
Yeah.
Bro.
I got that's early +4. I thought that was in America. I didn't realize. Now that there's no real home field. I get that, but both are at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Like, oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's the London game.
Man, I thought that game was in America.
I'll tell you what, man.
Oh, how does he go? How does he even go to USC now? They don't want any of that.
I don't know.
Junk.
That's a good point. Although it's college. I mean, college has no morals.
Bro,
when it comes to hiring,
bro, in this instance, and they're trying to wash the stank off they have from the past 2 or 3 coaches they've had at USC. I can't see him getting that job.
James Franklin's stock just went up. If he was an NFT right now, James Franklin's stock would be going up.
Great point. Somebody on Franklin's camp.
Way to pull it back in, Harry.
Yes,
exactly.
See how we tie everything together here on the middle?
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's one big bow, this show.
I'm telling you, man. Sirianni in the club with a dog mentality shirt. Now that's from Philly Cat. So
he did he?
If a cat is messaging that, then you know it's real. Well, I tell you, this guy, man. I always start with the cheese on a cheesesteak. I tell you, that's it, right? I could see him there. I guess there's some new. We have to break here, but I guess there's some new contest going on by some hot sauce company in our city about who makes the best cheesesteak. And I can see Nick Sirianni as like some honorary judge.
No.
When I sit and look for a steak and cheese sandwich, I always start with the cheese. It's a cheesesteak.
It starts with the roll, Nick.
Right.
It's really about the roll.
Can you imagine?
And don't say you put mustard on a cheesesteak, please.
Right.
With or without mustard.
Right. I found this thing called the cheesesteak hoagie. It's pretty good, man. You put lettuce, tomato, onions.
They would burn them at the stake here, bro.
Back at 3.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass, free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Holy shit.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. One free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. So good, it just disappears.
As a hard-working American, you've never experienced how tough life can be until now. A catastrophic injury while working on the job. A personal injury from someone else's negligence. Turned away by other law firms in the region who didn't bother to learn your story. It's time to meet the Fritz & Beyond Cooley Law Firm and managing partner Brian Fritz. Badly injured? Call the Fritz & Beyond Cooley Law Firm. Find out why they say, "We got this."
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on three. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
All right, so Kay is going to join us at 12:30, and then we'll see what else. Is there any other preseason game we should know about tonight? I know there's a baseball game on. I can't sit there.
Yeah, the Yankees are favored on the road at Fenway. A short favorite with Garrett Cole on the hill.
Now, I saw PGF yesterday in the other game give out the Cardinals, who are not a favorite on the road.
That's tomorrow night.
Oh, I thought that was tonight.
No, they split them up. They split them up. There's one game each night, Tuesday, Wednesday.
This is opening round. The NBA would never even do this, and they're egregious with their scheduling in the postseason.
Yeah.
This is embarrassing. I can't watch.
No?
No, I'm going to watch Sirianni pressers. I'm going to get fired up about the Flyers this year by watching Nick Sirianni talk to me about why they won't run more design run plays while wearing a Flyers hat. That gets me going.
Good. I went back and analyzed. He did a little all 22 of the Urban Meyer video during the break.
Now did you get angles?
No, not any different angles. I didn't need any because what I noticed was his hands were inside his thighs the entire time. Like he did not have his hands out away from said woman's tuchus. His hands were inside.
Well, still though, on the outside of pants.
Well, yeah, I would assume so.
Well, no, I've seen the video. There's no inside pant action.
Not at least in what I saw, but I'm just saying, isn't it egregious enough that the hands were inside, which is where she was like kind of in. He had his legs kind of open, and she was kind of moving back in there. Well, his hands were down inside there. That's pretty bad, right?
Yeah, but on the out,
if you're the wife, you're like, whoa.
Yes, I think to use that as a baseline, absolutely.
Based on his explanation, where these young people just came over and wanted a picture. Yeah, okay. I'm not buying that for 1 second.
There was no, hey, let me take a pic outside of the small pic that they took, but there was video.
Right.
Honestly, I think he thought he was invisible wearing that pullover. Or bulletproof, maybe.
Yeah.
No?
It's ridiculous, man. It's different, man, when back in the day where there weren't any camera phones.
Yeah.
Half the NFL will be gone back in the day if there were camera phones.
Right.
But there are camera phones. You know what I'm saying? The phone is always hot. This lady said the mic is always hot.
Yep.
The phone and the camera are always hot, bro. I mean, come on, man. Come on now. And if you look at his social media, he's got a nice picture of his whole entire family.
Oh yeah,
on the beach and stuff.
He's a fraud, right? We know that he was. Like, all this talk about how he needed time with his family. Two times over, he lied about it.
Right.
Like everything, and I don't mean like he's a fraud in the loosest term that's constantly thrown around by like Howard or somebody else. You know, hey, he's a fraud. He's a fraud. This is a textbook Webster's definition of somebody who lives a fraudulent life. And I think when you coach in college and you're successful, like he is, it's easy to believe the facade that you've created around you, right? Now you go into the NFL and it's like, hey, it doesn't matter how, like Bill Belichick is the most successful coach that ever coached, or next to Walsh, right? Arguably, at least if he isn't. And that dude couldn't go out without being harassed, without being shot at with video and all this other stuff. And if he had his hand like on his girlfriend's butt, then it would blow up. Tom Brady got shit for kissing his kids on the mouth in some stupid video with Giselle. Or Giselle, whatever the hell. Point being is that, like, you can't just control everything because, now you're an NFL head coach.
Yeah.
Even when you're good, you don't get to control the
even though he was in Columbus. Maybe he felt so comfortable being back in Columbus where he was the king.
You think yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like he wasn't in Jacksonville. Maybe in some weird way he thought like he was invincible because he's inside Columbus.
No, he should have been. He should have felt more
exposed
because everybody knows who he is. It's not like he could have been in Jacksonville and kind of blended in because nobody cares about who he is in Jacksonville.
Okay,
at least at home. He knows that everybody knows who he is. He's the darling of the city.
Right.
Come on, man. Come on. Are you kidding me?
I think you're right. I think whatever the assessment was, he misjudged it. That's all. And now we're going to get our first. I was trying to see if there were any odds on first coach to be fired in the NFL. Usually you get stuff like that. I can't find it.
Nagy, I think, was the leader in the clubhouse prior to this. Matt Nagy would probably be at the top.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, his total blundering of the quarterback has, put him in a bad position.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see.
I don't think he makes it before the weekend. Honestly.
You think he's done before the next game?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
They're gonna have to, they're
Jackson
gonna strike fast and
who
hard.
Takes over? Who's the assistant on that team? There's got to be somebody that's like
there might be a former head coach.
That's what I mean.
Staff.
Like Jack Del Rio that's on your team that you can just slide over and say, hey, man, why don't you take over for a couple of weeks or till the end of the season? Urban's probably so pig-headed that he said no to any help. Remember when the Eagles tried to get Chip Kelly some help? And he was like, I don't need it. I don't need it.
Oh, they got Charlie Strong. He's the
Charlie Strong. Yeah.
That guy would get in somebody's face.
Yeah, Daryl Bevel.
Well, Bevel, yeah, he was a candidate for openings for a while. Schottenheimer. There's a Schottenheimer on the staff.
No, get out of here.
Yeah.
I love this comment on the stream. Not to defend Urban, but let me defend Urban.
Bernie Pomaly. Remember him?
Yeah.
The running back?
Yep, the running back.
Yeah, he's the running backs coach.
Yeah, but he wasn't like an in-your-face type guy, was he?
Nuh-uh.
Chris Ash, former Ohio State assistant, and I think he was Rutgers head coach for a little while.
Not our buddy Ash on the stream.
No, I don't think so. No.
Just making sure. What's Ash short for, by the way?
Oh, and Bob Sutton, too, the former DC with the Chiefs. Andy Reid's former defensive coordinator.
There you go. That's it. Right? I think from that standpoint.
Okay.
Couple of names. Today's a busy day for false equivalencies on the stream here. I guess people are maybe they're bored with the Urban talk. Not me. This is fascinating. I love the fact that this guy, like, we see this all the time, man, and it's different means to the same end, which is somebody comes in from college and they think, oh, no, I got this. And they don't listen because why? They haven't had to listen to anybody in college.
Right.
and then they get their ass run. And it could be something like this. It could be Chip Kelly not bumping people in the hallways. It could be whatever. Nick Saban,
Steve Spurrier,
absolutely. Everybody finds a way to come back. Yeah, that's it. That's it, Wick. I'm jealous of Urban Meyer. You got me. Jesus. I thought I could slide that by for 2 hours today, but damn it, I've been exposed.
Yep.
Jealous of Urban Meyer. Let me tell you, Harry differs a little bit, but there was no, like, you would have to pay me Urban Meyer money to live in Jacksonville. That's just,
I could take less.
You and me a little off.
Yeah, I could take less. Yeah. All right. Now, speaking of someone who we're probably all jealous of, there's new news here on Mike Greenberg, a.k.a. Greeny, at ESPN. Greenberg will replace Maria Taylor as the top host of NBA Countdown, per Andrew Marchand.
I don't know who like, what's NBA Countdown? Is that the pregame show?
That was that show that that they wasn't Beetle on that for a while after she got bounced from the morning show. I thought they put her on that show for a little bit.
She left the morning show.
It's the pregame show for their NBA pregame halftime.
Didn't they have They had a couple of people on with her. With I don't know, man.
Rachel Nichols probably hosted it at some point.
They're trying to find some way to deal with, was it TNT?
Yeah.
They're trying to.
They got no chance.
No, there's not a snowball's chance. Shaq and all those guys. They have the right chemistry, man. It's hard to take those guys down.
I can't watch Mike Wilbon. Wilbon's on it too.
All of these guys are just. Here's the thing, though. You notice that ESPN is constantly shifting.
Yeah,
always.
Shuffling.
Their radio, their TV. This show they had to cancel. This show, but the people that are on a show that just got canceled are going to be repurposed on another show, and then 6 months or sooner, that show gets canceled and repurposed. It's constantly the same, similar shuffling. People around until somebody gets up and leaves.
Right.
Until Dan Lebitard or somebody like that, or who else left?
Bomani Jones is leaving now too, I heard.
Yeah, and his shit keeps getting canceled. So from one side on him, I don't blame him. On the other side, it's like, why is ESPN constantly repopulating show or creating new shows with the same people they have to cancel from other shows?
I don't know.
And it happens on radio too. I have no idea why they do that. They do that more than any other. They do that more than the Fanatic. And the Fanatic is like the flagship for reshuffling talent. I've never seen this on a national stage where and look, it's ESPN. It's not like they're hemorrhaging. It's not like, oh my God, Fox Sports is killing them or CBS is killing them. It's just wild to me that we constantly see this shuffling of talent on this major network. And it's like, whoa, maybe you should look at maybe 2 or 3 other, talent agencies and not the same 2 that are feeding you this talent that you keep having to change. It's amazing.
You think it's
it is.
I'm beginning to think it's more so what consumers are consuming these days, as far as how social media has become such a big deal, and digital's become such a big deal, and how people consume their their media. Because I know my shop was trying to deal with that for a minute. They're just now starting to, be up there and competing at that level with, how you give people their media. Usually everything was just linear. Now it's digital. Now everybody's trying to find a nice balance between the two. You got to have a balance between the two now. Everybody just thought it was just going to be digital. Well, look now, you got to put linear back on it, because linear, old guys like us still watch TV.
Right. I don't, are they committed to that at all? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, I mean, it's, like it's more like this. The younger generation wants all digital, but they don't spend money to watch or consume stuff. They find a way not to do it. But old guys like us, we watch linear. We watch TV.
We're the dinosaurs.
And we're the ones that spend money. So how do you find that balance?
I'm not spending any money on Mike Greenberg. Sorry.
No, that's what I mean.
I'm sorry.
Right. Why is that?
No way.
Go to. Why is that the justification of it?
Isn't there enough Greenberg?
I would think so. Like, my God. But look, I don't know. Maybe this is a justification of how much he gets paid.
Yeah, probably.
Right? I don't know what else it would be. But it's pretty glaring that they have to find a way for him to be involved.
I mean, he's going day and night. He's like more than you, Eytan, because he starts with Get Up, and then he's going to be doing NBA stuff into the nighttime. And then he does a radio show, I think, during the midday.
Right.
You see Joey, man? Look at Joey B, man. Barrett Brooks, linear versus digital. What is this? Geek Squad segment?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, boy.
That's amazing.
All right, man. You know, I can't always break down 3 techniques and you know what I'm saying, 9 routes.
Well, we'll take it by all means, but I thought that was a pretty comprehensive breakdown by all means.
I wish we could do that stuff.
Winner.
Plays on the show where you could actually diagram stuff.
Bro, I wish I could, man.
I know.
I mean, that's the best.
Yeah. It's unfortunate though, right? Because we'd get blasted out here for running any type of.
Well, yeah, YouTube would can us.
Yeah.
But 91 LSXer says Greeny's going to have a Crossing Broad drop-down menu as well before you know it.
Do people care enough about him, though? I think people would rather read, honestly, people would rather read about Angelo Cataldi's latest made-up feud because, you know, Kincaid's going to be all over that as opposed to something like Mike Greenberg, right? Does Greenberg rate in Philadelphia?
Well, it's on Crossing Broad.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Along with the Sage Steele stuff. Apparently there was some controversy with her too.
I heard about that. What actually happened with that?
She was on a podcast with Jay Cutler, I think, and said something that outraged somebody.
Oh,
I don't know. Said outraged somebody.
I don't know.
I can't keep up with.
It wasn't me. I can tell you that.
Right.
I did not get outraged.
I can't keep up. It doesn't even. I couldn't tell you when Greenberg's on, when Stephen A's. I didn't even know Sage Steele still worked for ESPN. Like, I don't. Seriously, this is why I have a drop-down menu.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I'm doing all this other stuff, so I don't have to care about that shit.
Right. No, I'm with you.
I tell people all the time that see it on social media. I can't believe this person said this. I say, look, man, I work in sports, and I have no idea who that person is.
Yeah.
You can be okay not giving a shit about what somebody says every time they say it. Like, it's amazing. It is truly, I can't believe it. What are you going to do? Kellerman saying something to piss people off.
God.
Saying something to piss people off. Skip Bayless saying something to piss people off.
Wow.
Well, man, that's how you do it, man. That's how you go up through the ranks.
You just start saying shit to piss people off.
Yeah, that's how you get paid, man. You know,
I did happen to catch a few minutes of the ESPN morning broadcast now with Kellerman.
Is that radio?
Well, it's radio and TV,
so
just like
radio,
Mike and Mike was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It's like Kellerman, Keyshawn, and Jay Williams, right?
They took him off the NBA stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say he got this from the NBA. So I guess he's doing college or something.
Probably, yeah. I actually thought Keyshawn had some good things to say. He's got some good opinions.
Right.
He's got something to say.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Now, was that the highlight? Was Keyshawn the highlight?
Yeah, he was the highlight.
Okay.
I mean, basically, Kellerman's just a traffic cop going in and out, sort of setting them up. But Keyshawn's the only one, worth listening to in that whole broadcast.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
So it's Keyshawn and who?
Kellerman and Jay Williams. Jay Will. Among his friends. His friends call him Jay Will.
They do. I don't know if you know that, Barrett.
Yeah, he went to Duke.
Oh, he went to Duke.
Yeah, he's a Dookie.
Duke.
Yeah.
Remember,
Duke.
before the motorcycle accident, this kid was he was
legit.
Very good. Yeah. And he was like a rich man's Mateen Cleaves, where he could score, he could control the game, he could play some D.
Yep.
Mateen Cleaves.
Absolutely. No, Jay Will had a good career, just got derailed with the motorcycle accident. I don't think he was ever the same. Not like Grant Hill, of course, who could have been one of the best players ever before he got hurt. Do you see that?
Oh my goodness.
What?
The stream, man, they're on fire today, man. Penguin AZ. I'm not gonna say it, but yeah.
Oh.
What's that?
Look down at the end. And Joey B agreed. He co-signs.
Okay.
What am I looking at here?
Look at Penguin AZ.
Don't give a shit. Signed Eytan.
Right?
Why couldn't you say that?
No, because they're agreeing with you.
I know, but why couldn't you say that?
I'm not gonna say the S word, man.
Why?
I just don't, man.
Because his mom's listening and he'd get yelled at.
My mom's listening.
My mom wants me to say bull squat.
Yeah, so's mine. And if I said it, I'd hear about it, the next time I talk to her.
My mom would curse at me for cursing. What the hell is wrong with you fucking...
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, seriously, you can curse. It's YouTube. We're not on the radio anymore. This ain't a radio show, huh? Right?
Yeah.
That's all.
Oh, my goodness.
That's all. Now,
look at AJB. Look at it. Because he's not a savage, Eytan.
Yeah, right. Come on. Get out of here.
Right.
Get out of here. Like you're not cursing.
Oh, my goodness.
I tell you, man.
Love it, man. Love it.
We've reached a new low here.
We have?
Yeah.
Mark the tape.
Seriously, people avoiding the curse word.
Oh, my goodness.
For superficial reasons.
I tell you what, like I will let one go every once in a while, but I was always like wary of doing it even when I could do it because I didn't want to get comfortable doing it, knowing that, on regular radio, you can't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I always wondered, like how those guys, like let's say, like Scott Farrell, who had been on satellite for a long, long time. Like if he ever came back to just terrestrial radio, would he be able to sort of filter that out after doing it for so many years? I don't know. That's pretty tough.
It'd be tough for me to be on calling a college football game.
Right. You get a little amped up, and all of a sudden you let
Huh?
You're not supposed to. If you're able to control yourself, like if you're an adult, then you can go ahead and not worry about it, right? Like you understand the difference of being on the air and off the air. My God.
Well, yeah, but still, when I call college football games, I get into the moment, because a lot of guys, they call games, they want the doors open, they want the windows open, so you could feel the crowd, you could literally feel the energy of the crowd and how the game is going just from having those windows open. If you close it, it kind of takes away from the whole ambiance.
It's like being in the press box at the link. You don't even feel like you're at a game when you're in that press box.
Exactly. You feel cut away because the windows aren't open. But when you go inside the box where you're calling the game,
it's open air. Yeah.
You feel the energy. You feel it like almost reverbing off you, so you get caught up in the game. That's why I had a problem, earlier on with, letting the game breathe. Like after a big score and letting it breathe and not saying anything for like maybe 30, 45 seconds because you want to comment on what just happened, the big score. You want to say exactly what happened. But sometimes you have to sit back, let the whole, energy of the game keep flowing through, and then you comment afterwards, man.
No, it makes sense. You also don't want to say something that just off of emotion, by all means.
Right.
Now,
absolutely.
And again, like I understand, I'm not here to talk about people's own experiences by any means, but Barrett's not the first former player that looks like Barrett that I've worked with. And I've on Sirius XM, where I have heard many of people knowing that family members have been listening, cursing because, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Right? So be careful when you say across the board with the culture or somebody, because there are plenty of examples. And I'm not here to out anybody individually, Bart Scott or somebody like that. I'm just saying,
wait.
There are plenty of people that, and that's the thing when you're on Mad Dog or Mad Dog or just in Sirius, like the NFL channel, they would come down on you. You would get in trouble.
They would.
Oh yeah. Okay. They would come down on you, because look, Steve Cohen, the guys running sport, they're all that's their baby.
Right.
That's their baby. That's the one that is the moneymaker. That's the connection they have with the NFL, the league, and all that. So the NFL is listening. Everything like that's their Mad Dog. It's like, well, come on, man. I had a caller yelling and screaming at me. You know, what do you want me to do? I'll play you that Dino Costa meltdown. That's the best cursing you'll ever hear in the history of cursing.
Well, Pat McAfee's show is also on Mad Dog before Mad Dog comes on. He's the lead-in, and they curse on that show. It almost seems like for the sake of cursing.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's the poorest of poor, man. It's a ripoff, but it's not even like a real ripoff. Again, it's like McDowell's to the McDonald's of the Opie and Anthony show. Or whatever the hell that guy was it, Norton, right after that?
Jim Norton.
Yeah. Those guys were cursing to curse, but at least they were doing it in a subtle manner. It would be like if Preston and Steve were able to curse.
Right.
You wouldn't just be like, oh, fuck this, bleep this. The McAfee shit sounds like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds pretty forced.
Now Ruin on the stream, and we all know Ruin. We love Ruin. Says, talking to Harry off the air, I'm shocked he never slipped.
In what sense? Like
I guess,
the air?
Yeah, on the air, like, slipped up. So
no. I think the difference again is like, and all three of us, like Barrett is doing it live, where there's a game in front of you and there's emotion and all of that. I think when we're just talking on the radio, a lot of us, and I think for all three of us, we're seeing what we're saying, and it's even in an argument. Well, even when you get upset, it's been ingrained in you. Like, again, it's something that if Harry were to curse, all right, I'll give you a perfect example. Remember, I think you and I were doing the midday show, and Nahagian told you one time to just come out and curse.
No, Martinez did.
No, he did it with us, I think, as well. And he told Andrew at the time, who was the producer, to make sure he's ready to dump.
Right. But then it would go out on the stream. People on the stream could hear it because it doesn't dump the stream, and the people on hold could hear it. I didn't really understand the value of that, but I did it anyway because I did what I was told. So I gave him a good F-bomb.
But how uncomfortable was it?
I was uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Ruin's sounding like, like I'm off the air. I'm a torrent of F-bombs.
You like to curse. You got a couple of drinks in you. You like to curse, don't you?
Yeah. Love to curse.
I'm trying to find this Dino Costa clip where this guy's saying, oh, yeah, bleep you. Bleep me? Bleep me? No. Bleep you. And it's just he's yelling at this caller, F you, F you. It's like a
Was
kid.
he on Mad Dog at the time?
Yeah, he was on Mad Dog. And it was just somebody at night calling up being like, Dino, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're an idiot. Oh, yeah? F you. And he was just, and the caller was trying to talk. No, F you. Like, can you imagine hearing, you're driving home, it's 11:30 at night, and you hear this guy just yelling at a caller, F you, over and over and over again.
That's crazy, man.
Right?
That's crazy.
You hear this, it will change your opinion.
No, I hear it, we'll do it live.
F it.
Yeah.
That's what occurs after that.
Well, that's what I mean. Like that's just something where it's like you're reacting to, you're trying to tape ahead of time, and it's like, oh shit, all right, well, what's his name? O'Reilly, right? Like, fuck it, we'll do it live, whatever. This is somebody calling your radio show, turning around and yelling like a child, F you, F you, F you, F you. Like, he must have yelled it 50, 60 times. They played it on Dog, and Dog was like going to throw up. Yeah. You could tell that he was like visibly moved.
Was that the end of him on that station? Was that
no. I think the end of him was him just continuing to rip Russo for some reason. Oh, it's like, what are you taking shots? I got to kill 5 hours.
Now he's only got 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Bro, it's different, man. It's different. Like when you dealing with people and you try to, sometimes you just go off, man. I understand that, man. I definitely understand that. If you just go off and just, go off into a tangent, there's some people that push you to that point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That definitely push you to that point.
All right, let's take a break here real quick. We're back. Mike K is going to join us coming up. It's the
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass, free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Holy shit.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. One free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. So good, it just disappears.
As a hard-working American, you've never experienced how tough life can be until now. A catastrophic injury while working on the job. A personal injury from someone else's negligence. Turned away by other law firms in the region who didn't bother to learn your story. It's time to meet the Fritz & Bianculli Law Firm and managing partner Brian Fritz. Badly injured? Call the Fritz & Bianculli Law Firm. Find out why they say, "We got this."
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Oh, man. Went down a Dino Costa rabbit hole.
Now, our next guest may have some insight still into this Jacksonville situation.
Oh, absolutely.
Eytan, because you remember he was down there covering the Jags.
And that's been the talk of the town here. Now, Mike can't hear us.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Can we hear him?
We hear you. Why don't you try and talk? Now it sounds like
guys, I can't hear you.
Oh, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
We got you. Why can't he hear us?
I can't hear you.
Oh, my.
Hold on. Let's try this.
Oh.
I'm just going to take the cartridge out and do the old SNES thing. Bang, bang. Let's see. Does this work? Can you hear us now, Mike? No.
Nope.
All right.
Oh,
let's do this. Do you have the text chain open to Mike, or do you want me to text him?
I can text him. What do you want me to text him?
Just tell him to bounce back in. There we go. He got out. He just needs to come back in. That's all.
So he needs to re-log in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, real quick, Tone hit us up here. What do we think of this money line or point spread parlay? Look, if you're going to run a point spread parlay, then you might as well just run a teaser here. But at the same time, I don't know how much value you're going to get teasing the three of these. Arizona comes off a pretty big win, divisional win.
Yeah, they got San Francisco at home.
Yeah, I do like them at home. Let's work a We'll talk to Mike. I'll work a teaser here.
Okay.
Now, can you hear us now, sir?
Perfectly.
Beautiful.
Second time's a charm.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you and your patience. You could have easily said, screw this shit.
Yeah, screw these guys.
They would have never have known the difference. It's clearly on them.
What's going on?
How are you, Mike? First and foremost, how's life?
I'm well. I just got out of press conferences with the coaches or the coordinators, I should say, and stuff's going well.
What did we learn from Jonathan Gannon today?
Well, he says that he's not frustrated with the players. He's frustrated with himself and not putting guys into the right position to be successful, which I get. I mean, when you have Eric Wilson lined up against Tyreek Hill, that's going to probably be your first inkling. But, I mean, look, I asked him straight up, what were his two biggest regrets of his play calling this past week. He brought up that play. He also brought up the third down play where Tyreek Hill got a huge gain and a touchdown. Look, this is a team that's figuring itself out, and on the surface, it's not looking that great.
Did anybody today, any coordinator today, have a shirt or hat on for another team in town?
No, not to my recollection, but I also skipped out on the Shane Steichen call or press
Fair
conference
enough.
to come talk to you boys.
So Steichen could have been the violator.
Wouldn't rule it out.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's a team mandate. Maybe Sirianni came in day one and said, look, nobody's wearing flyer shit but me.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think we're making a little bit too much of the attire stuff, but also it's kind of cringe when you lose. So
Yeah.
I get it. I get the criticism.
Well, it's. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm done with the t-shirts.
All right.
Go ahead.
Well, this
waste Mike's time.
This penalty issue, Mike. I mean, 44 penalties for 281 yards 4 weeks in is just, unbelievable. I mean, this was one of those tenets that Sirianni talked about. Playing smart football. They're not playing smart football. And how deep does this issue go?
I mean, it goes pretty deep. And you know what? It's worse than the numbers show because about 63% of those penalties are on players of 3 years of experience or more. Like, you can look at a rebuilding team and just chalk up penalty issues to a growing process. But these are guys that should know better. Lane Johnson's played in 3 games. He's got 4 penalties. Isaac Seumalo played in 3 games. He had 4 penalties. Derek Barnett has 3 penalties. Anthony Harris, Josh Sweat, guys like that all have 2. And I wish Barrett was I saw Barrett today because I was going to ask him, like, when it's the guys that are leading the team and the captains and the leaders, how much weight do you really have as a leader or a captain to preach, hey, discipline, you got to be disciplined when you're the ones making the infractions?
And there lies the problem, because you're asking guys to go out there and say, all right, follow my lead, and they're making mistakes, then that's the lead that these younger guys are going to follow. Hence, that's why they're doing what they're doing. I mean, some of the stuff that's going on is inexcusable. Derek Barnett has to stop. I don't know how you're going to make him stop. He's not doing it on his own. So maybe he needs to sit down somewhere and not play just to keep his team from being in violation of not getting a third, not having to get off 3 downs and out because he makes a mistake like that. Are you going to push towards that type of, reining him in by not playing him and seeing, everybody else look, all right, if he's not playing, then maybe, if I make a penalty, then I won't play. Maybe you have to show them in that manner as opposed to, just saying they're going to do it. You might have to show them that you're not going to do it now.
Yeah, there's got to be a level of accountability, and I think the coaching staff has done a very good job of holding themselves accountable, publicly and privately, from what I understand. The issue is when you get to this standpoint where, look, the Eagles had an out. They could have said, hey, this is a complete rebuild. We're going to get rid of high-priced guys. Instead, Howie Roseman doubled down on guys like Derek Barnett, Zach Ertz, Fletcher Cox, etc. And so the thought process was, since this is a weak division, you can compete in Sirianni's first year. Well, in order for that to happen, those veterans need to just step up. And right now, Howie doesn't really have a lot to show for that doubling down other than injuries and penalties. And so, Jason Kelsey's playing very, very well. But you're not seeing Fletcher Cox kind of hold down the fort on the opposite end. I know he's opening up stuff for other players. I do think the criticism is a little overbearing, but he's not delivering at the rate of a guy who's making a 6-year, $100 million contract. Especially when you look at a guy like Javon Hargrave, who's making $30 million over 3 years, he's making him look like a legitimate bargain. So I think you have to have these veteran players step up, or you've just wasted a year of developmental time for some of these guys like Milton Williams and Zach McPherson on guys like Ryan Kerrigan and Fletcher Cox and Steven Nelson.
Mike, what's the latest? Oh, go ahead, Barrett. I was just going to ask you about Lane Johnson real quick.
Well, I was going to ask the same thing. You talk about, bang for the buck, and a guy that, he brought back. What's the, what's going on with Lane? Is Lane in a position where he'll be back? Has he handled that situation? Is he going to be back this next game?
This sounds like something that's going to linger, and there's not been a lot of transparency here. Normally, we find out that major answer, you guys know, on Wednesdays and Thursdays. I'm interested to see if he shows up on Wednesday. It sounds like the team is giving him his space and letting him deal with this issue.
When you say, and look, I understand that you're privy to stuff that you won't say to us, and that you are privy to stuff that you will say to us, and that there's some stuff that maybe you're told that you think, okay, this makes sense, but it's not enough for me to go on the record and say, I understand. I'm not trying to put you on the spot here, Mike, by any means, but when you say in response to Barrett about how they're not giving you transparency and what you're getting from the Eagles, what really are you guys getting from the Eagles in response to this? Because it's not just that Lane missed the game. There's clearly something going on in his life that is serious enough to derail him playing.
Well, I think they want Lane to be able to speak for himself because he's the guy that can truly tell you what's going on. I think Barrett, from a player perspective, from a locker room perspective, if if the team's leaking out or announcing a personal issue, you're lacking trust in that locker room with the PR staff, with the executives. I actually think the Eagles are handling this very, very well. As much as we want to know what's going on, the appropriate action is actually being had here from their perspective. That doesn't mean that it's stopping us from digging or looking into it, but also from a media perspective, we want to do it respectfully, right? Because we don't know exactly what this is. This could be anything. Personal matters are a wide range of things, and I think that's why it was announced this way. My understanding is it's not discipline related, so you can rule out that. And I think, look, I mean, for something this major to happen, clearly it is something that is affecting Lane, and the Eagles want to be sensitive to that. And I think that's completely fair.
Well, after the all 22s have been, observed, what was the overall sentiment about how the cobbled together offensive line played as a group?
I thought that right side of the line played a lot better than I expected. They love Jack Driscoll. I reported earlier in the week that I thought that there was a good chance that Driscoll would play guard if he was available. And the plan was to have him play right guard. Then this last minute thing happens with Lane. He plays right tackle. I thought he played one of his better games of his career. Nate Herbig struggled a little bit, but he also didn't work with the first team offensive line throughout the week. This was that was really the only place where there was kind of like a mix and match issue, really, outside of Driscoll. And then I thought Landon Dickerson looked a lot more comfortable at left guard. He's a guy who seems to have a really high pad level, and it just wasn't working out with where he was at right guard, especially when he was taking on guys that have a lot of power. It seemed like he was being pushed off the line almost immediately. Left guard, he seemed to settle in. He seemed to be able to finesse block a little bit better. And I thought Andre Dillard was fine. The one penalty that he had, a legal man down the field, I thought that was more of a timing thing with the entire offense. So, look, I thought the offensive line played fine, as well as you could expect.
Yeah. No, I think, talking about that earlier in the week and just hearing it from you and looking at the possibility that Lane could miss another game or maybe more, it's nice to, at the very least, refreshing to see that. Now, I'll steal a phrase from Harry and ask you, what did the all 22 of the Urban Meyer clip tell you? What did that film say to you?
Well, listen, for folks that don't know, I covered the Jaguars for 3.5 years before I came here. It's not great. It's not great. Look, he was hired to be an attraction of sorts in that area because of his time at UF and his success at Ohio State, and he's been nothing but a distraction ever since. The strength and conditioning coach, the issues with overworking players, the putting his foot in his mouth pretty regularly, the unneeded quarterback competition. Now these videos that seem very inappropriate, but I will tell you the one thing that constantly has gotten brought up to me over the last couple of days is not flying home with the team.
Yeah.
Coaches like to say nothing good happens after 11 o'clock. Well, nothing good happens when you stay behind in Ohio instead of flying home with your team. This is a young team that constantly needs to be managed. They're 0-4, and look, I get it. I'm a father. I would love to spend time with my kids or my eventual grandkids down the road if I even make it to that. But, you're a guy who is a multimillionaire who's coaching a billion-dollar franchise, who is trying to lead men. They hired this guy to be the king of accountability and the leader of success, and he has been neither. told you so. I mean, like literally everybody. This is the first maybe united front for NFL Twitter, and they could say "told you so." And I said this to somebody before the press conferences today. The only thing worse than the league not wanting you in the league is proving the league right as to why they didn't want you in the league, and that's all Urban Meyer has done really since he got there.
Wow.
Isn't that something that college coaches just deal with when they come into the NFL as a whole? So why make life for you exponentially more difficult when you know you already have a target on your back?
Well, I think Cliff Kingsbury actually got for a college coach, got a pretty nice welcoming. I wonder if it was because, you know, he wasn't that great at Texas Tech, and they assumed that he was going to not be be in the league for very long.
I think the average NFL fan doesn't know that he coached in college, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's fair. But I think, you know, and Eytan, you and I've talked about this like off the grid, but like when you're in a situation when you're leading other adults in any business, like to take shortcuts yourself, it's going to end the wrong way. I mean, look, I mean, like that's just what it is. I guarantee you ownership and the players were okie doke with him sticking around. I'm sure he got that approved until they saw what happened. You know, you're allowed some leeway until you mess up. And I just think Urban Meyer, just time and time again, I don't know if it's arrogance or hubris or what, but he's not running this team like an NFL franchise. I almost tweeted out the other day, this is the worst college football team that Urban Meyer's ever coached. They play in the NFL. I mean, like, so, you know, you're already seeing stuff, you know, leak out there that the players aren't bought in. I wouldn't either. I mean, Chris Long just tweeted out, Chris Long, who knows a lot about losing from being with the Rams and a lot about incompetent head coaches, was like, if I'm a veteran player, I'm my own boss now.
Yeah.
Barrett's been preaching that really since we started the show today.
Yep.
About that, and both of you on the same page, because Barrett's main point in the first hour and when we talked about Urban was the one that you went back to the most, which is just leaving your guys here. Now, what are the odds that he gets left on the tarmac in London?
I mean, look, I was wrong about Urban Meyer. I thought he'd at least be around till January. I don't see how that happens now. Listen, look, if you haven't already, read the statement from Shad Khan. Shad Khan's our guy is brilliant. Shad Khan also is somebody who's loyal to a T. He's extremely patient. And so for him to say inexcusable and say that you have to earn back trust, that's a big step for him. He knows a bad business deal when he sees it, as patient as he is. And I'll tell you this, that seemed like a preemptive strike to me. You know when you have like a performance review and they're like, well, you need to do this a little bit more. That's setting it up, man.
Right.
And frankly, it seems like they're putting a lot of pressure on him to potentially, you know, follow history and resign so they don't have to pay him. But I'm telling you, if this was like any other city, I don't know how he's here.
Right.
Like, I don't know how he's still there in that building. And look, there's reports out that players are just done with him or they don't believe in him, and that's not really.
That's the damning thing right there.
Yeah.
Right, and like,
thing, Mike.
Look, and Barrett's brilliant, and he knows what he's talking about, and he's been there. But like, from a writer perspective, it's like, how do you, like, how is he still there, right? Like, you're just kind of just like, because we talk about the NFL being so much different culture-wise than any other job, but really, if you get down to it, when your boss doesn't practice what he preaches, he even literally came out and said, I told Trevor Lawrence when he had a bachelor party in Vegas to watch out because this stuff happens. Like, how do you win back that trust? And can you win back that trust in the span of a couple of weeks? Because not only is he terrible on the field, the off-the-field product before games, the during-the-week stuff is terrible too.
Great stuff, Mike.
He's not going to win. So since he's not going to win, why keep him around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got time for one more, Harry. You want to throw one out here?
Well, you got to follow Mike on Twitter at Mike_E_K, and that's KAYE. And also go to the No Huddle Show on Twitter too. NJ.com. Read him every day. All right, one quick one. Dallas ran the ball for 245 against Carolina last week as a team. Do the Eagles run the football or show a commitment to running the ball this week?
I'm sorry for laughing.
That's not even rhetorical, too.
All right.
Like, that's a serious question.
So here's the thing that I've noticed with the Sirianni bunch is they tend to overcorrect. I do think they're going to run the ball quite a bit. Now remember, Jalen's got to say in that from the RPO standpoint, but here's the deal. You don't have to run so many RPOs. You know what I mean? Take it out of his hands, because if you're seeing opportunities to run the football, you need to kind of do that. And look, I think maybe it's me just being optimistic, but I think Sirianni kind of doesn't look ahead, but I think he knows that there's part of his playbook that he takes for certain opponents, and I do think they will be pretty run heavy here. If they're not, they're going to lose this game. This is a really solid defense, in my opinion. Dallas game aside, if they force you to run the football, you need to run the football. I think that's been the problem in other games, is they've dared you to run the football and you haven't, and that's why Jalen has struggled. So against good defenses. So I'm interested to see what they do, but yeah, I do think they will run the ball effectively here, and I wouldn't be shocked if Kenny Gainwell has an even split with Miles Sanders.
What is going on there? And here, again, just last one, just some food for thought, if you could leave us with this, Mike, where I don't think on the surface, at least, there seems to be a problem with Miles Sanders. And on the surface, at least, Kenny Gainwell seems like he can play, at least in the opportunities that he's getting in the NFL. So this isn't a bad thing. It's just, what is going on with Miles Sanders that this is now a kind of split backfield, as you alluded to?
Well, I think they really like Kenny Gainwell and hurry up in third down because he's proved to be a better blocker than they thought. He's also got better hands. So when you have Kenny Gainwell out there, you can do a lot of different things. If you don't feel like Miles Sanders can block well or consistently, and you don't think you can catch the ball consistently, you're kind of just telling them it's a run play. So I think that's kind of where they're at from a Kenny Gainwell perspective.
Got it. All right. Thanks, brother. We appreciate it.
Man.
Nothing too controversial, but I think that's what it is.
Yeah, and I didn't think there was. Like, this wasn't us trying to start. Is there a controversy with the running backs? No. We're not trying to do any shit like that. We're just curious, more so than not. Mike, we appreciate you as always, brother. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right. We'll see Mike. We'll see you tomorrow on a Wednesday edition of The Middle. Hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't, shame on you. Subscribe to the JAKIB Media YouTube page. You can hit the notification bell as well, so you don't miss shows like Dan's football show that's coming up this afternoon, or Birds 365, which you already missed this morning. So go back and rewatch that, and then us here in the middle. All right, we're back tomorrow, back Wednesday. Anybody got anything else to say?
Go Red Sox. I took them tonight.
Are you going to watch?
Yeah, I'll watch it. I bet on it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'll watch the baseball game. Now that all the riffraff is out of baseball, we got playoff teams.
Won't watch a second of the Phillies all year, Barrett, but he's going to watch playoff baseball.
Exactly right.
I hate to do it. All right, we'll hit you with one of those on Wednesday. We'll see.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass, free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Holy shit.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. One free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. So good, it just disappears.
As a hard-working American, you've never experienced how tough life can be until now. A catastrophic injury while working on the job. A personal injury from someone else's negligence. turned away by other law firms in the region who didn't bother to learn your story. It's time to meet the Fritz & Beyond Cooley Law Firm and managing partner Brian Fritz. Badly injured? Call the Fritz & Beyond Cooley Law Firm. Find out why they say, "We got this."
On the field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.